We'll call the meeting to order. Chanel, will you do a roll call for us, please?
Profit,
Here.
Lawson, McCann,
Here.
Priest, Maxwell, Lamb,
Here.
Colwell,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Knight.
Here.
All right.
Yeah,
Lawson.
Watson.
Sorry.
I just checked, yeah.
He's here.
Watson and Lawson.
He didn't want to be
And they
recorded
did.
here. Sorry.
What?
All right. We have the meeting minutes from July 6th. I trust that everyone has had a chance to review those.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay. On old business, we have the parkland dedication for the Razorback Apartments and Golf Course. That meeting was tabled at the June 1st meeting. The developers do not have a proposal at this time, and so it will remain tabled until that comes back. Okay. For new business, we have a parkland dedication for the Mountain Ranch Phase 3 project, and Allison, you'll be walking us through that.
Yeah, if I can get this to go again. That's weird. Weird. Oh, there it is. All right. There's a pic from last week. Was it last week? Gully Park?
Drama
camp.
Oh, drama camp.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. At Gully Park. But that's not what we're looking at. Mountain Ranch Phase 3 is the development that we're reviewing, and Jorgensen & Associates is the engineer on the project. Developer is Mr. Aaron Worth. This is located east of Rupel Road, south of Persimmon, in the southwest park quadrant, and they are proposing with this phase 83 single-family units. And their land dedication requirement would be 1.9 acres. Money in lieu requirement is $76,360. There are some parks in the 1 mile service area: Dale Clark Park, Village at Shiloh Parkland, which is, let me go back here, which is undeveloped parkland. Gosh, my pointer's not working. Oh, God. Here we go. Well, this thing's not working very well. There's a gray block. I don't know how to point to this without... Anyway, the larger outline on the east side, there's a gray block. We own parkland there. It's hillside, wooded hillside there. And up on the northwest corner is Dale Clark Park. So those are the parks that are within the service area. This is the phase that they're currently proposing. And they're requesting to dedicate money in lieu, and staff is also recommending money in lieu because of the existing parks in the area, and also due to the next development that we're going to review tonight. They're actually proposing to dedicate land, and so we looked at these two developments as a whole and decided that acquiring land in the development to the west was the best case for both of these developments. We can talk about it in more detail, but there's a large amount of land that has been identified as potential parkland with that development. We feel like acquiring it is the best bet for both of these developments. Both of these that you'll see tonight are potentially going to be developed in phases with future houses to come, upwards of potentially 800 or 900 units total between the two of them. In, I don't know, 10 to 15 year build out potentially. I don't know the time frame, but we wanted to look at it as a whole and not just try to look at each individual phase so that we could identify land that would meet the needs when at full build out.
Allison, I had a question between this project and their future projects and the other project that's coming up. I think on this, if you look on the far left, is where you had the potential for the park, for the other property. Is there not a way we can get contiguous land in the corner Were both properties are attached? Did you look at that?
We did look at that, and the land there is really not very suitable. Rupel Road's gonna be coming through there, and it's gonna make sort of an S-curve to the west.
Okay.
And then straight down, and, we did look at that, and it's sort of a wetland type area. So we just continued to work with the development to the west to identify land that would be usable as park space, in the future, and not just a natural area, so that we could
Okay.
kind of provide a variety.
That was the only question I had.
Dale Clark, isn't that the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but is that open to the public, though?
Mm.
Well, Dale Clark Park is the 8 acres that we have there for Dale Clark Park. I think it's 8 acres, isn't it?
It's about acre. Part of that is a parking, this portion of it's parking. And then there is a trail, I think, that loops around it. And the park area is
Yeah.
part of their football field.
Right, I mean, don't you have to pay to play on that, though? I mean, our club does.
I don't know.
Yes, because, yeah, we allow them, we allow them to, I forgot, I think it's a 100-year agreement that we have with them, that they get to utilize that park for their activities.
So this Mountain Ranch Phase 3, I'm assuming all this wooded area is, what does the rest of Mountain Ranch look like?
The general outline
Well,
is
that
here.
one you just were on.
Okay. The general outlines, those outlines there,
What's that?
is that Mountain Ranch that you've got outlined?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so some of those may develop sooner than later, and Jorgensen might be able to explain more of a timeline on that, but I think at this point they're just developing smaller portions.
And then Shiloh Trail's gonna follow that property line out to that village of Shiloh land? Or-
It's a long Shiloh there, so
Okay.
so Mountain, the green there on the east side, that was
Uh-huh.
built with the original Mountain Ranch phase.
Okay.
And then as you get further down towards the village at Shiloh, there's actually a long Shiloh. And so eventually that'll connect.
So you're saying it's along here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's part of the transportation plan.
Now, do we have,
Active
is that,
transportation.
do we own that now, or do we have
No.
Do we,
easement, or do we have access to it, or do we have to?
Talking about a long shot.
Grab it
Yeah,
as
along
it's developed.
Shiloh.
We don't currently own that. We'll, as that area develops, then we'll look at obtaining either the easement or land at that point.
Yeah, 'cause I just wondered, it looks like that edge right there is on the corner of the Mountain Ranch.
Looked like it touched the village of Shiloh Parkland.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like.
Yeah. So
It
at some
looks
point
like
we
the
could add to
trail
that
would
part.
come straight down through there. Where's ultimately that trail go?
isn't that going to the hillside though, back there?
No, I think
No.
there's actually is there a, unless I'm seeing things, which I could be, a blue line, a light blue line just to the west of Shiloh?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the trail, future trail shown.
Actually.
I can pull up the,
In front of those houses there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can pull up the, alternative, or the, active transportation plan if you want.
Well, I think we're getting off, that's
Yeah.
not the same property that's being developed right now.
Correct.
So I don't think we have the option of doing anything with that right now.
Well, no, but I was thinking we could bank the property for the trail.
But the only piece of land we're talking about
I
is that
understand.
angled part. You talking about trail on the angled part?
The trail?
Yeah.
No,
as far
for
as
bank land.
With
using-
no-
using the
different
land
projects.
in the
We can
future.
grab that land though as they develop the other part along
Yeah.
the edge.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about if it were to be
Trail
the same
from
developer?
Shiloh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's already set in stone.
Well, it's not.
Probably wouldn't be
no.
hard to grab a trail
There's
corridor,
easements
because they'll
along-
probably meet the,
probably
you know, the amount of land that we have to give,
Oh,
would
is
probably
there?
be equal.
Oh,
Yeah, see, that's
per
what I'm-
quarter.
So straight down through there. Okay.
So
Squirrel.
this
Squirrel.
What they were saying was that there's already easement in the other area,
Okay.
Which piece?
The one that we're talking about,
and it.
For development?
We would probably acquire it free
Portions of it are.
with minimal.
The eastern side is
And I
wooded.
don't know how much of that is, but it would probably be pretty reasonable.
and
to
I'm
get
talking about the
that
one
in.
that's, we're talking about
That might not be the same developer that does
adding
that.
to the
Going through a lot
parks.
of trees.
Right.
These guys here in Bankett.
Isn't that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
mountain.
Part of this is gonna be
So owns it.
Yeah.
money in lieu, and
This development,
Depending on
we're recommending money in lieu.
So they're just selling off parts
Yeah.
and parts. Okay.
That's not putting.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Right.
You usually
That's
straight
Shiloh
down
Road.
there and get that
It's not,
edge of
Well, yeah, I mean,
parkland down there.
yeah, on the.
Yeah.
Come through the
I
parkland.
mean, it's probably gonna go straight down, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well,
You got shallow drive, right? I see,
Yeah,
what you-
shallow
but it's
drive.
just.
The red, you can see,
oh, I know.
there's a red line down in the southeast corner of this page. That's existing Shiloh Trail. And so that'll continue on to the north as that property develops and hook into what we have already at Mountain Ranch.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, does the developer want to say anything here today? Any comments we need to?
For Jordan's Associates, I mean, I think we're on the same page with Allison that has presented, and we're in agreement with everything, but I'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
So it's the developer's request to do money in lieu as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the staff's recommendation?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions?
I move that we accept, the recommendation by staff to take the money and move the land.
second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay. All right. Next, we have Lake Sequoia Park designated equestrian trail update from Byron.
Okay, so, recall the last time we met, when the equestrian folks were here, we agreed to, allow them to use the trail if they, made some repairs to 3 areas that were trouble areas. They have done that work, we went out and looked at it, and it looks good. We've given them the go-ahead to start using the trail while we start developing, some signage for the trailhead and figuring out how to identify the trails on the map. So we haven't released that to the public yet. Just publicly advertising it as open to equestrian use, but we're hoping to do that by the end of the month and get the signage and get everything designated. But so far, the club's been using it for about a month now, and it's not had any issues. So we're going to try to get out and walk it this week and try to map the new trails. They're not on our existing map, so try to get those maps so we can put a map up at the trailhead, just to identify what's allowable for equestrian use. And it could potentially be a map that will evolve as they improve more trails, so it'll be somewhat temporary in nature for the map anyway. That's kind of where we're at. That's kind of the question.
So are the new trails just like the connecting pieces between what was already there? Or is it kind of
The
a
trail that they,
relocation?
part of the Eagle Scout Trail, I don't know that it's named on the...
Kingfisher?
Well, not Kingfisher, on the west side of the lake, starting from the road going north.
Yeah.
Part of that trail they've been riding on, and they made some improvements to that area. Kind of goes on the old roadbed, by the old bridge. And then it picks up on some, they kind of created a little section trail from where that roadbed ends west toward, kind of where the cul-de-sac area the parking is. And then there's some fisherman trails just kind of weaving through there. So part of what we've got to do is identify what trails we want the horses on and what trails are either we close them down, period, like, 'cause there's some social paths, but those would be hard to close down because people take the shortest route to the fishing hole, so we just need to designate it and sign it so that horses know what trail to stay on. So, yeah, those trails haven't been mapped yet. It's only the map that they gave us, that they hand drew on there, but GIS hasn't been out there to map them, so that's our next step.
Okay, so that's the update. There's another comment on here talking about the meeting reconvening out.
Oh, that's
Is that
the
in the
next
right,
item.
is that supposed to be down here?
Yeah, we'll go over Cross Keys here
Okay.
and then reconvene.
I was confused
That's
by
okay.
that.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, so that goes with the next one. All right, any other discussion on the Lake Sequoia Equestrian Trail? No? Okay. Thank you, Burns. All right, next we have parkland dedication for Cross Keys Phase 2, also Allison. And that note goes with this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the other development I alluded to, it's the second phase of Cross Keys. Jorgensen is also the engineer on this project. Charlie Sloan is the developer. West of Rupel on the south side of Persimmon, Southwest Park Quadrant, they're proposing at this time 116 single-family units on about 29 acres. And their land dedication for this phase is 2.67 acres. Money in lieu is $106,720. Again, Dale Clark Park is in this service area. They are proposing to dedicate the 2.67 acres of parkland for this phase, and we've identified the entire hatched area that you see there as potential parkland as future phases develop. Owl Creek Trail Corridor is located along Owl Creek through here. It's actually on the south side of the creek, and we've worked with the Trails Coordinator to identify where trail would be needed, and also identified an area for a park that would be located outside of the floodplain so that we could develop it in the future, and it's sort of that larger area, here we go, right there that would connect into the neighborhood. And so with this phase, the green on the west side would be dedicated now, and then as this continues to develop, we would continue to acquire parkland as it kind of moves east. And both of those kind of fingers that split, one would be the main trail corridor for Owl Creek, and the other one is a secondary connection that Matt has identified as a good link because there's going to be so much development out in this area. And then Rupel will also have a trail along it, so it'll really help connect all those neighborhoods into it.
That makes a lot more sense. We should have shown that in the first time. Stewed quite so much.
Okay. So that's the staff's recommendation, that's also the developer's request?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'd like to go to site, let you all look at it, and then make the motion on site. So I guess anyone who is viewing this tape will need to call our parks office or check, I don't know if the newspaper's not here, so we'll need to call our parks office to see what the recommendation was.
That's catch the next show.
Catch the next show.
So Allison, you're saying the solid green on the far left is what's going to get dedicated now?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and what we've done with this one is, so the trail will be located on the south side. We're proposing to take the entire creek in
Floodplain, so-
50 feet to the north because that's the streamside protection area.
Right. So on this is phase 2. Where was phase 1? Did I miss phase 1? Cross Keys phase 2, where's phase 1?
It's to the north.
Before you were born.
Pointer's not working.
So those up there, that's phase one?
Well, I don't know what's, yes.
I don't remember where it was. It was a while back.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to bring a laser pointer next time. Driving me crazy.
So Wedge Drive and all that, that was phase one?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we took money in lieu for that? Or did we take parkland for phase one? Or do
We
we
took
have?
I believe it's
Parkland, didn't we?
No,
Which park would that
we,
be?
we had decided that was gonna be future, that we would look at taking land the next time.
Okay.
Yeah, we originally
Yeah.
reviewed cross
You-
keys
yeah,
like in
remember that.
2004,
Okay.
and knew that this would be coming at some point. So back then, we identified land along the creek there for a park.
Which is really good that we waited, because we probably might have taken parkland that wouldn't be as useful as what we're getting
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
with this. So, and we know that the density out there is gonna be very high with Cross Keys having more, spaces coming in addition to Mountain Ranch having a lot more potential of coming in. There's, and with Ruffalo Road going through, what all's going to be happening out there, so.
Just west of this, isn't it, was is that what they call the Wilson Prairie?
The Woolsey Prairie.
Woolsey
Just
Prairie.
west of this, that's sort of like north of the
Right there.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. How come that's not, dedicated to parkland, or how do we,
They're using that for,
CH2M Hill manages that basically as part of their contract for the wastewater treatment facility.
okay.
now they are looking at some point, they're looking at different, things on developing a working farm out there. So at some point in time, that might, by the house, close by the house that they're trying to, historical
Mhm.
house that they're trying to preserve, making a working farm going back,
It's to the south of the treatment plant.
yeah.
So where's the rest of the property that could be developed for Cross Keys?
It's this to the south and to the east.
And so who owns
And-
that portion behind it? That's theirs too?
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
Yeah.
There's 200 acres out there,
200, okay.
south of the creek.
And they're comfortable with the rest of this dedication on the creek and everything? Future dedication?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but like you said, we discussed this years ago, and we're just following sort of through the
Okay.
plan, the original, and all that, how it's worked out.
Which makes a great asset for the school, Owl Creek School.
Oh, yeah,
And it's just-
absolutely.
They don't hardly have much of a playground area, so that's going to enhance their area tremendously.
It also protects that watershed,
Yeah.
the riparians, whatever.
All right. We know what the recommendation is, we know what the developer's request is. Any other questions, comments before we go out there?
We have a van outside.
Okay, all right, so we'll,
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
Not about this,
Yeah.
but I forgot. I'd like to introduce Ken Easton. I forgot to do it at the beginning of the meeting. He's recently been hired as a park planner. He was serving as the urban forester.
yeah, okay.
So Carol Jones left the city, and we hired him as our park planner. So you may see his face around here
All
from
right,
time
nice
to
to
time.
meet you.
Welcome.
Good deal. I don't know whether to congratulate you or send you my condolences. You're in it. So, all
All
right,
right, we might go ahead and read the announcement.
okay.
All that out of the way.
Announcements are August 6th, Gully Park concert, Fast Times. Is that correct?
Fast times, last time. Last
Fast Times.
concert.
August 7th is the dive-in movie Big Hero 6, and I'm assuming that's at Wilson Park.
Yes.
August 14th, Splash and Dash at Wilson Park Pool. What is the Splash and Dash?
This is the first event of the Fayettevillle Race Series.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it got 50
okay.
a couple months ago, so it's getting kicked off with Splash and Dash. So it's a youth event where they're gonna swim a distance based on their age, and then hop out of the pool, transition, put on their kicks, and make a lap around
Have you, is enrollment open for that?
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty well. I think we're in the 60 to 70 kid
Wow.
range, so it's probably gonna be, first year struggles, but we're happy to have that many, I think, based on,
Yeah.
we touched base with all the, swim clubs in the area, and we've gotten a lot of them signed up, so,
Okay.
yeah, we're happy.
All right, August 17th is fall adult softball begins. August 21st, fall youth soccer kickoff celebration. Where's that going to be at?
That's it, Lewis.
All right. August 22nd, fall youth soccer begins. August 24th, fall adult kickball begins. What's the last day to register a team for fall adult kickball?
Typically just until the league fills up, but if
So the
if there's
24th.
a space, then, you have up until, I guess, that Friday before, Joe can still work you in, but the league typically fills up.
Okay.
So don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Get signed up.
All right. Any other?
How'd the goats work out at Wilson Park?
It was great, yeah, it was great press, and
Bad.
everyone was super positive.
They get that brush cleared out? How about the goats, were they happy?
Yeah, they seem to be really happy. Everything, I guess the goat on its hind legs can reach about this high, because everything that high and down was gone, totally defoliated.
How long did that take?
They were there 2 weeks. By our ordinance, they can only be there for 2 weeks, so that's what we,
We have a goat ordinance?
yeah, urban ag ordinance. Part of that is you can have goats off.
Wow.
Just hope they don't unionize, then we'll be okay.
That's right.
And our project was featured in our National Recreation Park Association.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. It was, like you said, great press.
Goats right.
What did that cost?
It didn't cost us anything. It was their working as part of our Adopt a Park program, so they sort of adopted Wilson Park, and hopefully we're gonna have them back in September, or October for another round.
Is that the length of time before we get a new goat permit?
Yeah. We'll double check on that.
Yeah. There may be a goat permit length in there.
It was pretty cool because the public really got involved,
Oh, my neighbors
went
loved
down
it.
there.
They
Yeah.
took their kids out there and took pictures with the goats and the whole thing. I thought it was great.
For the Meals on Wheels, this is goats on grass.
Okay.
Oh.
Need to move
Any
on.
other announcements, discussion?
I think we've
We've worn it out. All right, we'll be adjourned.